That wasn't in my textbook, by the way. Hi guys, welcome back to today's video where we're going to talk about 4 secrets or 4 lessons that I learned early in my career as a strength coach that I actually wished that I had learned before I even took my first job, took my first internship. But I'm going to let you in on these secrets and put you on game so you can get ahead. Let's just dive right in. So I'm going to give you the first one, and that is there is never enough time. This thing right here, never enough. Plan accordingly. Plan to do less, but have a plan B where you could do more. Especially being in sport, it requires a lot of flexibility and adaptation, and that's one of the greatest qualities of a strength coach. We know that, you've probably heard that 1,000 times, but what it looks like on paper and in practice is planning that hour where you wanted to jam pack it full of training. Don't forget you also need rest times. Don't forget you're going to get asked 1,000 times how to do something and what they should be doing. Don't forget there's going to be some mistakes. Don't forget loading weights onto bars takes a while. Don't forget talking takes a while. There's usually less time than we actually plan on. Our time goes quicker in the sports and training context than it does anywhere else. I'm not sure which one's the truth. And if you have more time left over, then that's a bonus. Plan accordingly, be flexible. The second one is that real training doesn't look anything like what's in your textbook. Maybe you've picked up on this if you've done really anything in the practice of being a strength coach, if you've been on the gym floor, if you've written programs, how we train for the CSCS exam, how we learn for that, how we learn in school. What's in the textbook is not what is actually in a program, because we're rarely ever, if ever, working under perfect circumstances, right? Athletes are tired. Athletes have injury limitations. We're in season, we're in off season, or the head coach wants something different, or we have a time restriction, or we have an equipment restriction, or just an energy restriction. So real training, what we actually do will never look like it does in the textbook, because the textbook is a perfect example, and I have never in my life as a strength coach had a perfect session. It just doesn't work that way. Number 3, you need a mentor. Whether that's inside of sport, whether that's outside of sport, whatever. Find somebody who has done what you want to do or has insights that you would like to learn. Beg them to tell you everything that they know so that you can learn from them, and offer to compensate them for it, because it's their time, it's their knowledge, they earned it, and so you need to compensate them for it accordingly. Don't just expect it for free, but know that you can never stop learning. And it's hard as we're developing as strength coaches because we're often in the gym, we're on the pitch, we're on wherever, and we're the bosses in that moment, or at least we feel like it when we're running workouts, when we're working with teams, when we're working with professional athletes. We feel good, but having a mentor will always keep you in check. It will help you stay humble, and it will help you constantly realize that you do not know what you are doing, because the more you know, the more you realize that you don't know anything and what is left to be explored. So if you're trying to go somewhere and not just stay in one place, if you don't just want to stay sedentary, then you need to find a mentor, because it will make sure that you stay humble, constantly have your horizons expanded, and you might also be able to use their knowledge, maybe also use their network, and also just really benefit from having an external opinion, somebody who knows better than you, inside and outside of sport. And last one, number 4, what you learn outside of the gym is just as helpful, if not more helpful, to you as a coach than what you learn inside of the gym. Get out of your sporting context and go learn about other things, because those things will deeply impact your coaching philosophy. And as you might already know, having a strong coaching philosophy that you have developed that's an individual decision is really important. Otherwise, you're just gonna adopt everybody else's, and just following along blindly with what everybody else is doing is not how to be a good, successful strength coach who actually helps and prioritizes the health of athletes. In order to develop as people, we need those mentors, we need those outside influences, and we need to sometimes just get out of the gym and remember that we too, just like our athletes, are whole people who need to develop as whole people inside of the gym, in sport, and outside of sport. Now there's 1,000 tips that I could give you, things that I learned early on in my strength coach and sports scientist career. I don't want to overwhelm you. Those were the 4 most important ones. I hope that helped. Let me know what your most important tip was that you wish you could tell yourself as a young sports scientist or strength coach in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or wherever those buttons are at the bottom. I'm not really entirely sure. And we'll see you next time. Bye.